Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode, finally, of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly. Not for a while,
Oh my god.
but mostly.
They mostly come out at night, but man, it didn't happen for a long while.
Things has happened in the
Well,
world.
if you haven't noticed, 2020 has been a motherfucker of a year.
Yeah.
So,
We had to put it on a bit of
a pause,
due to coronavirus.
It was never going to be forever, but coronavirus happened, and then, I don't know. That's mainly why we stopped, actually, is because that happened.
Yeah.
We're
all quarantining ourselves, but...
Yeah, but we're back.
I figured it's time.
Yeah, I think it's, I might not be, I don't know if it's the right time or not. I don't know what to think anymore in this year, but, we're back, so here we are. And take that for what you will. We're
back and keeping 6 feet apart.
Yep, and we're just, here to entertain our, three followers,
And I finally enjoy a beer again.
Yep, exactly. Wow, but what a way to start. Holy shit. That was a fucking doozy.
When I was like, oh, let's do this, let's go back to the podcast again, and part of me was like, oh, maybe the last movie we watched was an Uwe Boll movie, so our next one that we'll watch is it's gonna be a 70s one. And it's gonna be fun. And then I fucking saw the last movie we did was a 70s movie.
Well, and then I talked to you, and I was thinking about it, because I'm like, because I was like, hey, let's do it this weekend, and you're like, I'm free Thursday, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I was thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, the last movie we did was a Bruce Lee movie, like a Bruceploitation film.
Indeed it was.
So I was thinking about that, I'm like, oh fuck, I know what that means. That means we're on fucking Uwe Boll. And god damn it, he fucking strikes again. This might be one of the worst we've watched in recent.
Are you joking? This is fucking intolerable.
His other ones, don't get us wrong, they're bad.
They're all bad.
But man, this one, it definitely challenges you to not be bored for an hour and 19 minutes.
And think about that. The actual film is maybe an hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah. But
the end credits are just very apparently long.
Let me also say this. You could probably take all the action sequences in this movie and put them together, and I guarantee you'd probably only have about, what do you think, 5 minutes of footage? Maybe?
I'd say 3 or 4.
Yeah, 5 is stretching it.
5 is stretching.
My god, and this is
most of the action in this is it's 30 seconds or less.
I don't know what Uwe Boll, what was going through Uwe Boll's mind, or I never do, because he's fucking insane.
I know what was going through his mind for this movie. Titties and fade to blacks.
Well, also for some reason he got his philosophical grandstand, and there's a bunch of scientific psychobabble about the science of immortality and vampires and shit. And I'm just why do we care? Okay, I get it. If you're gonna make a smart movie about vampires, maybe don't be Uwe fucking Boll and trying to make an action movie about vampires killing Nazis. Maybe don't do that if you're trying to be make a smart fucking vampire movie. It's you think back, and I'm sorry, we'll get into the review, but I'm upset.
Yeah, understandable.
I recently watched the movie Daybreakers.
Yeah.
And, is it Daybreakers? The one with Ethan Hawke?
That's the one, yeah. Daybreakers.
So it's about vampires in the future, and they've basically almost run out of humans to feed on. Because they don't have, they have these factories that, suck humans dry of blood, and, meat farms, basically, and they're running out of blood. That's a different take on vampires, and that's, it goes into the politics of vampires, and, how they would act if they were the, dominant, species in the world, and that's a cool take on it. I mean, like it if you will. I mean, it's not, the greatest movie, but I really like it. But at least it tried something different. But Uwe Boll is just nah, I'm going to try and be smart and put a bunch of philosophical bullshit in my movies, but it's just going to be like vampires killing Nazis because I guess that's topical.
Barely.
So this came out in 2010?
11. But here's the thing. The actual vampires killing Nazis content
is barely there.
Like you said, 3 to 4 minutes.
What's weird is there's a lot of talking in this movie, and it definitely makes the movie drag a lot. And I mean a lot.
No, this movie jumps around quite a bit, and I mentioned this, but if you put a gun to my head and told me to explain the plot of this in detail, not like a summary, I can give you a summary, but if you ask the plot in detail
without your notes,
you'd have to fucking shoot my ass.
Yeah, I would be dead.
I have no idea. This jumps around so fucking much.
I know the main story beats for the time being. I'm probably going to forget them very quickly because my God, what a forgettable ass movie. But there's so much wrong. I don't know,
too much.
There's so much bad filmmaking on display here.
Yeah.
That is just insane. And I know he didn't write the story, but he probably had a heavy influence in it.
Yeah.
But whoever wrote the story is is stupid too. It's just it's another Uwe Boll cannon fodder. Every time every time we watch an Uwe Boll film, I always feel really bad watching the opening and ending credits because you're just watching people's careers get destroyed. Anyone who works on these films, I guarantee you, has not gone on to do what they set out to do.
It's a sad time because they might have had dreams. They might have wanted to be something. And the next thing you know, you're working on an hour and 19-minute long Uwe Boll film.
How does he get these people? Does he just trick them into being okay, well, he's okay, I want you to work on this movie with me, costume designers and stuff like that.
People need work. Oh,
he's don't look me up, okay? Don't watch my movies. I will pay you this much.
No, here's what you do. You post an ad, I need someone to do prosthetics on a vampire period piece. And then
someone's okay.
The prosthetic is 1 second.
Intestines, and 2 people had to work on those prosthetics for some reason.
4. There were
4 people.
4 Goombas in the credits.
My God.
And I'm just they don't usually put those people in the opening credits unless they're very proud.
Those poor bastards.
Of the prosthetics, which
you shouldn't be proud of those prosthetics unless you're maybe it was amateur hour. I don't know. Maybe he's just giving amateurs a shot. I have no idea.
It's always amateur hour.
It's baffling. It's baffling that he gets so many people to work on these movies. And I'm just thinking how does he pay these people? How does anything happen in this?
How does he pay these people?
Because it's his own production company, isn't it?
No, this is where I mentioned.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's his own studio.
Boll KG.
Yeah.
Bold. Killing
bold
something. I don't know.
Uwe Boll trying to make movies is bold.
Because see, here's the thing. The money by this point is obviously thinned out.
You could definitely tell in this movie that the money is running out.
Our man, I mentioned this in every one of his reviews. Our smug boy had a scheme where basically, if the German government invested money in his movies, then even if his movies flopped, because it was an investment from the government, and because it was supposed to be to help aspiring filmmakers,
yeah,
he would get the money back. It was literally the producer's level scam, where you make a bomb, but because of this tax scheme loophole, he would still get his money.
Yeah.
Eventually, because of this idiot, the government was fuck that, this is over, goodbye. And that is how we get to this.
No, so this was after this whole scheme, right?
They changed the law in 2008 or 9.
Okay. So
and that's why after Dungeon Siege.
So before, when we watched, was it Before the Storm or After the Storm or what? Whatever that stupid.
The Final Storm.
The Final Storm.
The Final Storm is after.
Okay,
that's after. One of the after.
So we're in the aftermath of this whole scandal
of where
you can see his production just tank.
where he's not getting like millions upon millions of dollars for his movies. It's very thin, and boy, oh boy, it's on there. It's on screen.
Now we're going off on a tangent because honestly, this movie, there's not a lot here. It's a bunch of talking for some reason. It's a bunch of talking that you don't care about because you don't care about any of the characters. You could literally give zero fucks about any character in this. I don't even remember their goddamn names. I only know Rain because she's the goddamn like main character.
Well, that's fine because the bad guy, his name is literally Commandant.
And you know what? You know what the evil doctor's name is?
Doctor.
He couldn't even name these people.
Oh, the main rebel guy is Nathaniel.
How do you remember that? I didn't even remember that.
I barely remember. That's it.
The one that gets yeeted?
Yeah, who gets fucking punched.
I mean, we'll get to that.
One Punch Man.
But my God, like, what a fucking struggle. It's an hour and 19 minutes, and I could barely make it through. I wanted to turn it off.
We can't.
We can't. I mean, obviously we can't. We wouldn't have a podcast if we weren't going to watch these. But, like, my God.
We're almost done.
I wonder if we're ever going to get to a movie where we have to turn it off.
I hope not.
We haven't gotten there yet.
And
we watched Curse of the Headless Horseman and Manos: The Hands of Fate. So
Manos was our first one. We can't yeet out of the fucking movie on our first movie, Will.
No, we couldn't.
What would that be?
When we were just babbies to this. You know?
What would that be? We just fucking watch like 10 minutes of it and be like, okay, nope.
Yep. Like, nah, sorry, I'm not gonna watch this. You know, I wanted to do a podcast about bad movies, but you know what? I don't want to do it anymore.
Manos seems so innocent compared to this shit.
But now we're back to me just literally just watching bad movies, and that's like all I watch now. So
yeah, I spent like 3 months watching actual good content.
Yeah.
And now, I had, you know what we did? We went head first. You know, it was rancid and it was unwashed, but we dove head first into that ass.
We did it.
And it had to be Uwe Boll. Couldn't be anyone else.
All right, let's get into Bloodrayne, the Third Reich.
Third Reich.
Produced and directed by none other than the man himself, the fucking pond scum, Uwe Boll.
The fucking shit pile. Human excrement.
The bio waste that they pour into Utah Lake, Uwe Boll.
The super fun side himself.
Sorry, for our
I'm not sorry.
Our non-Utah viewers, Utah Lake is a disgusting, just pit of sadness that they dump a bunch of chemicals into.
No, but it's fine, Will, because see, they're gonna build a bunch of houses on it, and then those people.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, but see, they don't.
It stinks.
They hope that the people who buy the houses, they're not gonna like look at the
ugly ass.
They'll see the ad,
that
right?
Smells
like,
really bad.
Lakeside views. And then you buy the house, and it's like, oh shit, it's all green and stinky.
It's like green and stinky, and it comes through our gutters. It's fine. You know, whatever.
We shit in it all day.
But yeah, so, yes.
We'll move on.
The creature from Utah Lake, Uwe Boll.
I just want to say the only thing worth mentioning, because the opening is just like flashbacks and stock footage of Hitler. The only thing worth mentioning.
They try and do like a flashback, but they don't show like Ben Kingsley's face.
That's the only thing I was gonna mention. Okay. Because they show like Ben Kingsley, quote unquote, raping.
I think it is the scene.
It is the scene
from the first one.
It's the scene.
But like they cut it in a way where you never see his face because he probably didn't want his likeness on this movie.
Because they would have had to ask him like, "Hey, would you mind like your likeness being used?"
You know and what they would have had.
You know what his response was? His response was like, "Who the fuck are you? Why are you in my office?"
Like you worked on the first Bloodrayne. What the fuck is that?
And then they showed him like a clip, and he's like, "Oh."
He's like, "Oh Jesus, why did?"
And then he called security.
I bet you anything. I hope it was that, but I bet you anything it was Uwe Boll being like, "Oh fuck, if we show his face, we're gonna have to pay him a little bit."
Or he'd have to ask him.
Ah, shit. Okay, well, you know what? We'll just conveniently do clips where it's just his hairline.
It's just his hair, but that's it. And then we get stock footage of Hitler. narration,
Well, it's so
yada yada.
it's like it's. I love the narration because it's like someone reading out of a fucking history book. It's like word for word something that it's like a summary of
Yeah.
World War II.
I'm a demon, but I started killing demons myself. Blah blah blah.
Well, and then she talks about how like she makes the correlation that like Nazis are the new demons basically.
Yeah.
And they're like so horrible and like it's like okay, yeah, we get it. Nazis are bad like yeah, like you didn't have to set that up. I think it's pretty commonly known
We know.
that Nazis are big pieces of shit.
No, we have. The movie functions on the idea that
You don't know
we don't know
Nazis
anything.
like the is it just people living under rocks that he's just like you don't know about Nazis, do you?
You don't know anything.
You don't know they're fucking hateful, evil people. Okay.
Another, also, like while they're doing the opening credits, it's like showing
It's showing a transport train.
it's a train going to like a concentration camp, which
Yeah.
this never leads anywhere, because it's just people in a train and they're being like loaded off at the camp, right?
No,
And every time they show the people in the train, they're still kind of bored.
no, I mean we're dealing with like low level brain shit right here, but like I mean like
Been dealing with that since we started watching these fucking Uwe Boll movies.
but here's the thing: if you're gonna direct something that's set in the Holocaust, maybe
Make it look
maybe make it more convincing than just a bunch of people bored on a train. Like
It's literally people bored out of their fucking minds on a train, and it's not like it's not cramped.
yeah.
The people, they don't look starving. They don't look.
Now we're not like I said, like we're not watching the pinnacle of fucking like
No,
Nazi movies.
it's not
but, like,
Schindler's List,
No.
but
But
I
like
mean,
you could have at least tried a little bit. Like
yeah,
like
anything.
anything would have been better than what we got. And I'm going to say that a lot. I guarantee you in this review, I'm going to say that that should be the name of the review. Anything would have been better than what we got.
Anything is better than what we actually had to deal with.
So yeah, so they're all on a train. They just look really awkward and everything, and then it stops, and the like, it's kind of weird. It's weird seeing it because I watched so many good movies about this same subject matter, and like it's more convincing,
Here's the
right?
thing, this scene goes nowhere.
Well, and like when they get off the train, the Nazis aren't even like being like total assholes.
They're
Like
just kind of like
they're just kind of guiding them along. They're not like shoving them or like hitting them or like telling them to separate into lines. It's just like a bunch of people just lining up and walking like a nature walk.
a nature walk.
That's what it looks like. And it's like, okay, but like we're in Nazi fucking Germany and they just captured a bunch of like Jewish people. Maybe make it look a little bit more fucking convincing than just a bunch of people on a nature walk.
It's
Like if you're going for like emotional value here,
Anything,
it's
yeah.
lost on me. Like I'm sorry, this whole scene is lost on me.
because what happens is like they get off the train, they walk somewhere, and then fade to black, and it's like it's just a bunch of like rebels in the woods.
Yeah, so the rebels come down this hill and they start firing on these Nazi people
These like soldiers, and Bloodrayne comes out of
Rain.
nowhere,
and starts like sorting
slicing and dicing people awkwardly, and everything is awkward because people fall. They're just kind of like, ugh.
I also love this movie because like it's one of those movies where you watch it and like all the gunshots, they don't like, it doesn't look like they're connecting because there's no like squibs or anything.
No,
So like you can't
people just fall.
well, you can't tell when a bullet's hitting someone. They just fall and be like, eh. Like it's so stupid to watch someone get hit by nothing, fall, and make a sound like they just got hit with a bullet. Like think about that. You just got hit with a bullet. Your reaction isn't gonna be
That's the reaction to everything, and then all that happens is there's like a big bad,
There's the commandant,
and he's
as
hiding
Alex
in a
mentioned
train.
before.
And Rain walks in there and is like, you know, talking to him.
Well, the commandant like takes her swords, and then she gets a piece of wrought iron, and like she's like talking. They're talking about some stupid bullshit.
And the most important thing
The awkward gun
is
guy.
some guy accidentally walks into the wrong bathroom.
I love this because it legitimately looks like this guy
Like, imagine,
accidentally walked in on the wrong like camera set.
Like, imagine, I don't know, imagine, you have, a roommate or something, and you're coming home, and you walk in the living room, and your roommate's, fucking his girlfriend on the couch.
Or watching porn.
But
And you just,
but you can't,
well, I mean, you're coming home.
But your room is, across the living room.
So you have to, you're, obviously home, so you have to go to your room.
But you're, awkwardly,
But you're just,
quietly.
just, shuffling around the situation.
That's him.
And then he takes the gun and, awkwardly lifts it up and, slowly brings it down to where Rain's head is. It's most
so
awkward,
slow.
It's the most awkward fucking sneak up scene I've ever seen.
And he shoots, and she sprays some cranberry juice
on
the commandant, and then she kills the guy behind her,
and then stabs the wrought iron into the commandant.
She shish kebabs him as she tells our guy.
Of course, I forgot that she said, "Oh yeah, he's shish kebab,"
and he's and she bites him.
She feeds on him, yeah,
and then
for some reason
they free the fucking prisoners.
Here's
in the train.
Here's the one loophole I don't get.
Oh, one. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's many. Okay. All right. Here's the one loophole I don't get in this scene. To be specific. So Rain, we've seen her hunting throughout the years, right?
Throughout the trilogy.
the
Bloodrayne trilogy.
But she's been hunting vampires for centuries.
He's not a vampire yet.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Wouldn't she know that him getting sprayed by blood would go into his mouth?
No.
And then biting him would probably go bad.
At no point.
She's been hunting vampires for hundreds of years.
At no point in the hundreds of years that she's
thousands
been hunting,
of years
that she's been feeding on people, at no point during those hundreds of years did her blood ever
get into their mouth.
Sprayed on anybody else.
No. No guy awkwardly walked up behind her and shot her from behind.
Because that one man is the only one, you know.
He's a legend.
Because he's the only one who could sneak up on her.
Yeah.
No one else could do it, Will. I hate this movie.
He walked in like he was fucking, like he just saw a big old dick in the bathroom and just had to.
But he had to walk across the bathroom.
He just had to do it.
He had to do it.
He had to take a piss, okay?
And so he just sees a big old dick just flopping around.
Yeah, he has to pull out his dick and
But he's gonna pretend like I don't see it.
Yep. Nothing. Just okay. Walk past it, and then gun.
They free the fucking prisoners. Commandant does a wakey.
So remember, there's
there's
a huge monologue about how Rain's been hunting vampires forever, and how she can't. Some I don't even remember, but anyway, yeah. So you're right. The commandant gets up because he's got sprayed with her blood. So
he got sprayed, boy.
So this is all Rain's fault at this point.
The whole movie,
the whole fucking movie, the whole reason all those fucking poor resistance fighters died is all Rain's fault.
I know this movie's not realistic, but am I the only one who's a little annoyed by how lightly everyone takes the fact that a big-time Nazi commander is now a fucking vampire?
Oh, they're just fine with it.
Everyone's fine with it.
They're just okay.
No one's even remotely what the fuck? Why? They're just
no one cares. And literally none of the resistance fighters are freaked out by it.
No, oh no.
It's weird. It's no one reacts to it, and he's just a fucking vampire now.
Gives a fuck.
No one gives a single fuck. That's just like the filmmaker.
Shocking. But we get
So now they're at the fucking resistance camp. Remember? No, you can't rush beans.
Oh my god.
He's cooking her blood?
Pig's blood.
Pig's blood.
Yeah, and then she's like, I already feasted. Damn yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I probably burnt the blood anyway.
whatever.
It's stupid.
But
That is literally like that. Like
Pointless.
that sums up pretty much the dialogue in this movie.
pointless. Then we get random fucking guy at random fucking prison camp is talking to a doctor who's doing experiments on vampires.
He's dissecting a vampire and seeing how much like pain they can take before they like die or pass out. I don't know.
He's fucking matter, but he already knows that because here's the thing: during the scene, he's like, "What's fantastic is the only thing that kills them is if you stab them in the heart. So I can do whatever." And so he's just like cutting off his ears and poking him in the belly.
Well, and then the commander.
And the guy's like, "You will cease."
Well, the commander's like, here's this letter. We're going to fucking
somewhere.
Again,
this is what I mean when the movie jumps around. Like, where are they going?
We find out later that it's because the commandant still has the fucking wrought iron in his fucking chest.
Apparently, when
the doctor has to
when they found him in the train,
he's a vampire, but he just can't pull it out.
They have to.
I mean, that sounds weird, but
they had to take him to the special doctor that the special doctor can pull iron rods out of you. Will
the doctor could pull it out, but he couldn't pull it out himself.
No.
Sometimes you're just inadequate and you can't pull it out, okay?
His pull-out game is weak.
Yeah. The doctor's pull-out game is really strong.
And then they fucking go to this... They go to, like, I swear, the most generic fucking building I've ever seen in any movie. Where it's just, like, white hallways, white doors, and, like, random soldiers just standing still. And the doctor is, again... completely covered in blood.
Well, nothing about it screams like Nazi Germany, right?
No, you are wrong, Will.
Because
in one scene, there is a very conveniently placed flag just kind of sitting in the corner.
There's a few flags, but they're not very many, and like, I don't know, say what you will, but like the Nazis were very fucking gaudy about their like pride.
No, the whole like the symbolism was very like aggressive.
Yes,
in your face.
They wanted like dominance, so it was fucking everywhere.
It's like, but no,
this
not
building. Just
There's like
just like a flag,
and again they're talking the doctor and I don't even know this other fucking guy.
He's just a general.
He's just another like. Commander, I guess.
I mean, he's gonna die eventually anyway, so who cares? But
who cares? But he's just like he's concerned about the commandant because they're friends. But he knows, again, everyone knows he's a vampire, and everyone's fine with it. So they go to another room where he fucking punches him. The commandant punches him, and then the guy is like, "Oh, such an amazing transition you're having."
He's like, "I should help you." But we'll get to how he helps the vampire in a minute.
Also, our doctor man carries a pocket cross at all times.
Yeah, because they're talking while like walking to another room, and he's like, "You have to be careful," and he just pulls out a giant cross out of nowhere. And I was just like, "Yeah, you know what? I carry a pocket cross wherever I go too, just in case I encounter a vampire." So anyway, now we get Rain awkwardly shuffling around on fucking rooftops and hiding her swords in places for some reason.
Because apparently, you know why, Will? Because when you go to your fucking lesbian massage brothel, you can't be armed.
I mean, yeah, you gotta hide your swords up on the rooftop for some reason.
You gotta remove your weapon. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
Because all she does is go to a fucking brothel and get a massage.
She gets a naked massage by another naked woman. And fucking just, yeah. So, let's see. Let me get my notes.
Middle of the massage, she hears a noise. And it's like, and she gets up to investigate it, I guess. And it's like some Nazi soldier beating up a prostitute. And so she, like, kind of smacks him around and
like, grabs his nuts and says, like, if this would, like, absolve the violence towards women that happens around the world, I would... some weird-ass shit. And then they do, like... They make the prostitute that was getting assaulted, like, do a walk of shame down the fucking stairs. So
titties
like,
hanging out.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah.
Like, why are you all
such empowerment, Will?
Why are you all about women empowerment and then just have her walk of shame naked down the fucking stairs?
Yeah, well, you know, when I think female empowerment in movies,
I think of that.
I think Uwe Boll movies.
Uwe Boll knows it.
Because let me tell you,
He's got his fucking finger on the heartbeat.
he's not just fucking jerking it while he's filming this shit.
He definitely is.
Oh, we'll get to that. Because shameful. But one of the dumbest lines in the movie. Because, like, you know, Rain, like... I swear to God, this scene implies that Rain is, like, leaving, right?
Yeah.
Because the fucking madam is like, your aggressive encounter may be problematic for me. And then I'm like, okay.
What madam talks like that?
Nobody.
And
I swear the scene is like, it's set up to where it looks like Rain is leaving.
But before we get to that, remember, it cuts to fucking the Commandant.
Oh, helping.
His training.
How does he train him?
Guess what the doctor trains him? They're playing chess. That's, good vampire training, right? Really cool. Like, just
cool shit.
Awesome shit. He's murking people left and right. No, he's playing chess.
He's murking people in chess, Will.
No, because he gets really angry because the doctor beats him.
Yeah, and then...
He breaks the glass. And then it goes back to the brothel for some reason. I don't know why we had to have that transition.
Well, then it goes back to the brothel.
Not a transition, I should say. It's another scene because Uwe Boll can't do transitions.
There are no transitions. But this is when we cut back, and this is when the 90s Cinemax late night softcore porn music starts. Because
like why?
Let me tell you about Uwe Boll and his behind the scenes activities. Because Rain is in like a bathrobe again, even though in the previous scene she was in her fucking outfit. Whatever, fine. She's in a bathrobe, and there's like two completely naked women following her.
And they like, oh, we got a present for you.
And she's like, I already had a massage. And then
she's like, no. And then like, she unties the fucking bathrobe. And they just like
she starts kissing her shoulder,
and like the other woman just leaves.
She's just like, have fun.
And then we just get a scene of this woman that obviously doesn't want to do this scene, awkwardly like kiss.
Oh, really?
Not even kissing. It's like this like light like
pecking.
Like not even. I don't even know how to describe it. She's not even pecking. It's like she's like. It's just so awkward. Like. You can tell that like Uwe Boll's like, okay, we're gonna do a lesbian scene, and it's like he's like, we're gonna do a lesbian scene, and she's like, a what? Like,
what? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like,
I was like, I don't remember this.
Are we? Like, I mean,
he's
okay.
He's like, yeah, I just update my script.
I just wrote it in. It wasn't in the original script. And so like we get this weird scene where she's like. Awkwardly performing like oral sex on Rain, but like you can like it's not
oh god
like,
best
I'm
part,
not saying it had to be convincing because it's an awkward scene anyway, but my god her head is just like hovering above like Rain's hip.
She's just like, oh yeah,
right there,
oh right there,
and then she like pivots back and like full like bends her stomach up.
I swear.
And then
God,
like it's like she like and then just slow-mo like her climaxing, I guess, and then it just fucking fades to black. And yeah, so that's our first sex scene. Don't worry, there's another awkward one.
Well, you know what happens, Will, is you
oh, sorry, and then there's I forgot.
I'm gonna point out this because our man, William here, was like...
I forgot a detail.
Will, during the lovely film, was just like, oh, well, I guess that gets our sex scene out of the way. We're done now.
I was hopeful.
Apparently, you forgot.
I forgot we were watching a Uwe Boll film.
And he doesn't have money anymore, Will, so he has, He
has to fill... and he can't do action sequences.
No.
I mean, have you noticed there's, like... We're, like, almost 30 minutes into the movie.
We had one.
And we've had one...
And it was, like, 30 seconds.
One action scene is 30 seconds.
And...
So now... while the lesbian scene was going on...
Yeah.
A woman was listening and is like, I don't know how she knew the Commandant was looking for a woman.
I don't know how she knew anything.
she hears them. I don't know how she knew Rain was the woman they were looking for or
how
anything.
she knew Rain was a vampire, yeah.
I have no idea. But anyway, she goes over to like the general.
And she's like, I have who you're looking for.
Well, she goes over to like the headquarters, and it's literally across the street
From the brothel, yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Like, and so she goes in, she's like, I have information for the Commandant, and like, the doctor's like, well, I don't know if it has to go through me.
And then it's fine, I guess.
And then they go, and she tells the Commandant, and then he fucking noms her.
And then, you know what the problem was, Will? It wasn't that Rain was a vampire. It was that she just did not like the gay agenda.
I guess
Up in
not.
her
She's like, oh,
biznatch.
fuck this.
Because
Fuck this.
there's no indication that she's a vampire. No one has ever said anything about the Commandant looking for a fucking vampire. Nothing.
The Commandant has said shit all about
Because
anything.
all he's been doing is sitting in a dark room and playing chess.
That's it. That's it.
He's not even playing chess with the doctor anymore. He's just playing alone.
That's all he's doing. We've been giving no information about anything.
That's the next level vampire training. Is you have to know how to play chess alone. Will.
That's the second stage. So
Fuck, this movie's so hard.
anyway, for no reason at all, Rain's dressed now, and just Nazis are just invading the brothel.
Oh yeah, they just fucking bust through the
They're
door.
just invading the brothel. Like, there's been given no information about like what's going on. They're just fucking straight up just murking people now.
But here's the thing: we get another exciting 30-second action scene of her just awkwardly punching people.
Exciting is a stretch, but okay.
And then she walks onto the balcony, and the Commandant is dressed like a fucking angsty teenager now.
Yeah,
like a hoodie.
even has a fucking hood. Like,
Even though he can walk in the sun,
yeah, he has Rain's like powers.
sun powers,
Yeah.
he's wearing a hood. And he tells her, like, come down, and she just kind of yeets up.
Up to the rooftop and grabs her swords and leaves.
And then that's it. And he's like, I want her alive. And then, you might have to help me because I do not remember a very large...
Don't worry, I got you. I took notes.
Because from here until she gets into a pointless bullshit argument...
Did you forget to take notes?
My notes literally says one word. Boring.
It is so boring because almost nothing happens.
Until she gets into a pointless argument with the rebel guy.
So...
Oh my god, I fucking
Okay.
remember what happened.
So now the snitch is a vampire.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's... Oh my god.
And like the doctor is having this intellectual conversation with this snitch.
Bro, no wonder I didn't take notes.
Yeah.
This shit was
It's because
boring.
it's fucking stupid. So anyway, now we get more shots of the Commandant playing chess by himself. And then more talking the doctor
snitch.
and then the snitch tries to seduce the doctor.
I swear she says, like... She doesn't even say
She doesn't
anything.
say seduce anything because he's just talking about how
she's powerful now.
like how her inhibitions are gone and how like she's more powerful and she has more urges now.
And she's like, want me to show you? And then he comes in there.
He's like, yes, I think I can take that risk. And then he's like, he gets in the fucking cage to fucking get his rocks off. Like this fucking awkward doctor just like getting in this cage with a vampire.
But she just like is trying to bite him, and he just pours holy water and stabs her in the chest.
Oh, I wanna mention one thing about their argument because I don't remember exactly what they said, but I do remember this part. She's holding onto the bars, and he's trying to test her abilities. So he throws holy water on her hand, and it burns. And he's like, it's a miracle. Like, you know, like
If you were a normal vampire, it would collapse like paper mache.
It'll have crushed your hand like paper mache.
Bullshit.
I've never seen a vampire movie where they throw holy water on the vampire and it just crumbles.
Yeah, I've never seen that ever in my fucking life, dude.
I think even in the Bloodrayne 2, like, they used holy water and it just burned them.
Yeah.
Like in every other vampire movie ever.
Apparently not. But he kills her, and then... What the fuck happened?
Okay, so then remember the Commandant comes in and like the doctor's like, oh, she was unholy or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, whatever, and he just doesn't care.
Basically.
And like they leave, and now we get the scene with Rain and the guy
arguing for no reason.
Argument, yeah. Because I think Rain wants to leave or something.
No, she's like, "Oh, the commandant's a vampire. This is too dangerous." And then he's like, "Well, like we'll fight together." And she's like, "But you'll die." And then they fight.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want them to like go into the front lines with her
Yeah.
because like, she's worried. But then she's like,
The
well,
guy has one of the dumbest lines though. He's like, "Fighting undead, good. Like this'll excite us.
it's like you're
Nazis are boring."
You're a resistance group losing a battle against Nazis, and you're like being like, oh yeah, the undead too. Fuck yeah.
We get a fucking. I swear again, the jumping.
This is the bar scene now.
The jumping again, because I'm not joking.
It goes from the argument
to a bar with a woman like seducing like a Nazi guy, and then she pulls a tiny little pistol.
Well, I love how every one of the Nazis, they have to like awkwardly pat down the women.
By pat down, you mean like grope them, yeah.
Like inappropriately grope them.
Yeah.
Every single scene of them patting them down is them inappropriately
Is that,
groping.
yeah. It's fine.
I don't know why they have to show that every single time, but okay.
It's fine. And she pulls out a tiny little pistol from under the desk and shoots one of them, and then
I wonder how accurate that pistol was. I wonder if they actually made a pistol that small that could hang on a fucking nail in like Nazi era Germany.
loaded pistol. Yeah, I don't know.
I guarantee you that was not made in that time period.
And then apparently the bar is a front because the fucking rebels come up there and they start like interrogating the guy.
The woman is like this master.
Oh god, because they go outside.
Enigma code reader.
They go outside and the fucking guy's like, "Yeah, that's Magda. She's our Enigma reader. She knows all the enigmas." And then
now this caused me. Sorry, before you go on, this caused me to question
why.
Who is this group working for? What are they doing? Are they?
They mention later that for some ungodly reason, this woman, this lowly Enigma reader, knows the location of all the allies in the West.
So my thing is like
all of them.
But who is this fucking group working for? Are they like undercover like fucking operatives or like nothing? We don't get no explanation of who they're working for, what they're doing there. Like
he did not think it out, Will.
No, and this is the only time they mention Magda as an Enigma code operator.
Because he didn't think that far, Will.
No.
You know what he thought about?
Care.
You know what he thought about? The next scene, which is Rain walking down a fucking street.
And she gets attacked by two vampires with swords.
Two very obvious vampires. Where they came from, why, who, what, I don't know.
They're also dressed in like
civilian,
raggedy street, like punk clothes almost.
Yeah, and then we get like a 10-second fight, and that's it.
And then she like walks away, and then we get her walking awkwardly, like this like stupid filter that's like all over the place. It almost made me sick. And like
she's like Nathaniel,
and she's walking through like tarp, and then she gets to like a room
and gets attacked
and like thrown against the wall, and it's fucking Hitler, and
he's a vampire.
And he fucking noms her neck, and she wakes up screaming because it's a dream.
The end.
And I hate to disappoint you guys, like with a spoiler warning here, but yeah, that's the only time you see fucking Hitler.
We
vampire.
do not get a scene.
We don't get
of Rain killing Nazi Hitler. Because this movie sucks fucking dick.
You know what we get a scene of? Her killing just some random commandant that has no name whatsoever.
No name!
And like just has no significance in the actual like war, so no one wanted to see him dead.
Nothing matters.
Not
and then the fucking idiot takes, oh my god, he goes and visits his friend, his soldier friend, who's just sitting in a house
drinking
with a bright fucking light.
So this is the commandant seeing the guy. So for context, I guess this is the guy that was talking to the doctor and
earlier in the movie,
and had the doctor work on the commandant.
Yeah.
So
by work you mean have him play chess,
right? And pull out
a fucking shish kebab.
Yeah.
Skewer.
So
and he fucking goes there and just noms him.
He just fucking but it's the most awkward thing because he grapples him like in his like armpit and then bites his spine.
He fucking grapples him like a fucking MMA fighter and he just bites his back of his neck.
Like I don't know why.
And then the doctor shows up, and then he takes like the vial of rain blood and just makes him do a sniffy sniff. Remember?
He's like, go track her.
Track her like a doggy.
Track her. And remember, and then this is your favorite scene because the dude from the resistance group is walking down an alley and just gets fucking kicked.
Can I ask you, why in the ever-loving fuck did Rain kick the fucking resistance guy? How many people in this movie wear the same fucking coat and beanie?
Well, okay.
None!
So here's the thing, too. It's because he was following her, and she didn't like that.
I guess.
And I think that was the conversation.
But she just walks up behind him and, like, awkwardly, like, one kicks, and he just fucking falls down like a rag doll.
And she sees him, obviously, and then still pulls a sword on him for some reason. I don't know.
They're talking, and they go to her, like, her hideout, and they're talking, and she says, like, I don't even get this joke. She says, like, something dawned, and then he's like, dawned, and she's like, I've been on this earth longer than you. He's like, yeah, but dawned. Like, I didn't know that dawned is a word that only fucking old people use, whatever. But and then she sees somebody. Well,
yeah, and it's we forgot to mention this dude. He had one line before, and he walks past, and I could barely comprehend it.
But here's the thing: this dude is in every single scene with the resistance fighters. Every scene.
He's always there.
And I think looks.
I think he's the brother of the main dude.
He's like the second in command, I guess. But she sees him. And she's like, who is that?
This is the weirdest conversation because he's like, oh,
that's so-and-so.
That's so-and-so. He missed you. And
that was never.
And then he's just on the roof now. He just like comes up to the roof for no reason.
Because he missed her, Will.
And they talked about resistance.
But then the tracker, the guy who got turned into a dog, he snaps some guy's neck and he just again immediately is on the roof.
Okay, so in movies, there's a term when like fight scenes. Oh, okay, so there's a term I use. I don't know if other people use it, but when fight scenes, it doesn't look like the fists are connecting. You call it shadow boxing. So there's a lot of shadow boxing in this scene because literally it looks like none of the hits connect. Mm-hmm. Like it's like filmed in such a way where you can clearly tell they're not hitting each other. Mm-hmm. Like very clearly. Like it's not trying to trick you into thinking that they are.
No.
It's like blatantly just like, yeah, they're not hitting each other.
I also swear like most of it is filmed from below like the people's neck.
We're also mentioning this, and I think this is worth mentioning. Every time sword play is used in this fucking movie, it never shows the sword connecting with the
body.
The body.
We just see like, I swear every death by sword is like the person's back is to the camera, and the sword is swiping at his front, and then there's just like a
blood spray.
But we never see any like actual head on.
No.
Nothing.
We see a guy's head get lobbed off, and that's it.
But here's what's important, is the tracker man gets his face bashed in, and then they interrogate him, and he basically spills the beans on everything.
Like, almost immediately.
And then Rain just pokes him in the
heart. So he's basically like, okay, well, they're going to attack the resistance group, and they're trying to get Magda for some reason. I have no idea. I still don't know why they wanted Magda specifically.
But after this, they try to stop them from getting Magda. And they don't.
And this is where there's like vampire Nazis. This is the only scene with more than one vampire Nazi because there's like 3 of them, but they take them out easily.
Instant.
Yeah.
And then this is a fucking joke because it keeps fading to black over and over, and eventually we see Magda's like tied up in some fucking abandoned factory.
Yeah.
And the fucking commandant is being all philosophical about immortality.
Well, he's also talking about how, like, there was... I remember this because it was really fucking stupid.
Smart boy.
He's talking about famous composers.
Yeah.
And how, like, Wagner and stuff like that. And how they tricked the gods into being immortal because people still listen to their music, and it's just it literally that is the like philosophical like bullshit of this movie.
It's fine.
Where he's like, "Hey, they tricked the gods, but I'm gonna show them that
I'm the ultimate trick.
I'm the ultimate trick of the gods."
And then he bites her, and then nah.
And then we get the scene of Reign and the Resistance group going back to the Resistance, and it's fucking wrecked. Like, they just failed completely. Magda got captured, and everyone got fucking wrecked. There's like 6 Resistance fighters left.
But this is fine, because, see, literally the next scene, they find Magda. And, by the way, I just mentioned this whole time, they're like, you know, she's the best enigma breaker ever on the face of the fucking planet. And we have to get Magda.
Well, and they really care about her, right? It's
the big deal.
They really care about her.
We need Magda.
We need Magda.
She's
really important.
I care so deeply about Magda, and then they get her, and the guy's like, she's the vampire. Kill her. And then Ray just pokes her at the end.
Yeah, well, and they don't even let like Magda talk.
No,
they
she's just
they
like
just fucking murder her.
She's just like, I'm different now.
Yeah, dead.
And then
yeah, you are different. You're dead.
And then they fucking get attacked. And they fight off these other vampires, which, I mean, again, the movie's mentioned to us that the only way to kill them is, like, by fucking...
Well, by certain things, like a stake to the heart.
Holy water,
sunlight, and silver.
I think sunlight, yeah. But
they're just fucking killing them left and right, just, like, with normal-ass guns.
Yeah, they die from falling, Will.
Yeah, convenient.
And then they're all done, and then magically, Commandant is there.
And he fucking gets the upper hand.
And he captures everybody.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go to Berlin.
And
they're going to show off everything.
They also want to give Reign's blood to Hitler to make him,
Hitler immortal.
Make him become a Domfear.
Yeah, make Hitler immortal.
Yes.
And Reign is like hanging upside down while her blood is being drained. And then the fucking Commandant just noms her armpits.
Well, remember the doctor also mentioned something about how she reproduces blood as quickly as he can drain it for some reason?
I want you to think about that sentence for 5 seconds, and please tell me if it doesn't just... If your brain doesn't start leaking out of your ears when you think about that sentence. And there's some...
He literally says that in the movie.
And the Uwe Boll wrote that.
You're like,
Well, no, he's like, this is amazing.
You're producing blood as quickly as I can drain it. How? I don't know. I didn't know vampires could just magically reproduce blood.
Yes, as quickly as you can drain it. And he noms her armpit, and then they're on the road. And it's like the remaining...
This is a really fucking weird scene because you get like cuts of like the resistance group trying to like figure out how they can stop the convoy.
Yeah.
And then you get, it's so weird because Reign is like laying on this like resistance dude's lap.
Before we get to this,
okay,
let's just mention that we see the remaining resistance people. They have like a stick of dynamite, and they're talking about how they're going to stop the convoy.
Yeah.
Now, continue.
So, I don't.
Reign and the resistance guy
fucking nowhere
are in like a truck.
They're in a truck. They're in the back of the truck. They're prisoners, right?
Yes.
Even though they're not fucking chained up at all for some reason. They just let them, like, just hang out in the back of the truck.
You know why they're not chained up.
I know now.
You know why.
I know. So anyway, Reign is laying on this dude's lap, and he just decides to start, like, just taking advantage of the situation.
He wants to cop a feel.
He rubs her, like, stomach a little, and then, like, starts, like, going underneath her bra, and she, like, freaks out. Obviously, because that's what you do when some just random guy that you've had no chemistry between in the entire movie
while you're asleep
starts trying to grope you, but then she starts fucking just like kissing him.
And then they fuck.
They fuck in the back of the truck, and it's the most awkward fucking sex scene, one of the most awkward fucking sex scenes I've ever seen in any movie. Because it's like these weird, like, angles, because how do you fit a fucking 2 actors having sex in a truck and a fucking camera? You have to cram it in, and like they're fucking in the corner, and like you just see the dude's back like awkwardly like gyrating. It's like, it's so weird. Like, and then they're like sitting on the bench.
I'm still disappointed. I'm still highly disappointed that they didn't blow up the dynamite right as they climaxed.
I'm kind of disappointed too. It's a really,
I just
it's
don't-
really a missed opportunity.
I just don't know how stupid you have to be to write this scene and not do that.
Like, why wouldn't you, any person that was directing this like shameless movie
Shameless would have done that.
would have done that?
Anyone with half a fucking brain cell.
Because they're like, hey, like we're gonna do this really weird sex scene where they have sex in the back
like
of a
let's
convoy.
let's have a funny ending.
Let's have them climax while it fucking explodes. Why wouldn't you do that?
So they're all climaxed.
You had that opportunity,
But no.
and they have time to get dressed again in the convoy before.
And then-
I love this convoy scene because here's their master plan. Okay, here's the Resistance's master plan with their like 2 sticks of dynamite. So what they're gonna do, and just tell me if you're following along here. What they do is they shoot the guy in the first truck in the head, in the driver, so he veers off the road. But they also explode the dynamite on the first truck, so like an overkill on the fucking first truck. And they waste the dynamite on that first truck while killing the guy. Like, how does that make sense? Why not shoot the guy in front so he kind of veers off the road, and then detonate the fucking dynamite when all the fucking convoy comes together?
Because we wouldn't have the greatest scene ever, apparently.
It's like you just get an explosion of blood as the driver dies, and then the explosion of fucking like dynamite as the same truck that the poor bastard that just got shot is fucking exploding. So now we get resistance fighters coming down the hills, and Rain and the guy get out the truck and it explodes more.
Awkward shooting. The most important thing
Well,
is...
it's awkward shooting where you don't know where the bullets are going and people just... and you're like,
and everything's just... The whole movie shot in that obnoxious, like, shaky cam, and it's just badly edited. The most important thing, though, is the fucking... Because the fucking Commandant has, like, a bag of fucking rain blood.
Well, the doctor has it because they're going to give it to Hitler.
But instead, because it's
even though he like extracted like a shit ton of blood from her,
there's only
he
one.
Has one vial.
And the Commandant's like, fuck it, and just drinks it. And he gets unlimited power.
So the doctor decides to run and gets taken out by a resistance guy. And then, this is the best part, because the doctor dies.
Because
Dude,
the second in command,
this scene,
the second in command has this whole time been like shooting people. Okay?
Yes, we have no idea where he is.
And then for some reason, he's on the ground.
So the doctor, this is right after the doctor gets killed. I'll let you describe this scene.
The Commandant is like, what the fuck does he call him? He's like, you Bolshevik scum.
Yeah.
And then he's just like staring at nothing, just like he looks bored.
This is the second in command lying on the snow. He just like looks up at him like, oh god.
We'll just get this over with.
He's like, oh god, I'm in an Uwe Boll film.
And then the fucking main resistance guy like runs up to him and like stabs him, I guess. And then the Commandant turns around and the guy just like stands there, right? The resistance guy just kind of stands there and waits for it. Like a fucking fighting game. He just kind of stands there. And then the Commandant just like does this wide punch. And then in the next shot, we just see the fucking resistance guy like...
It's like a guy that like obviously a stunt guy that literally threw himself like
as hard as he could
off this like little tiny hill, and it looks so funny. Oh my god!
There's a picture somewhere. I swear it's from like Arthur or something, and it's of like a character like flying through a window, but they're just like totally like stiff.
Oh yeah, no, the stiff as a board. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's how it looks.
That's what he looks like.
Because he's just like...
But sideways. And just like...
It's like the most awkward fucking like flying punch I've ever seen in a movie.
It looks like... It's like those mods in GTA where you can give yourself like superpowers. Like super punch, and you just... If you like punch a pedestrian, they just like... kind of sideways like yeet.
Mm-hmm. You just
That's
like
what it looks like.
Obliterate your like enemies in the next week or something.
That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. So then
fucking Rain
this is
starts
so
fighting
stupid because he's like overpowered because he has Rain's blood and he's a vampire. So now he's overpowered, but don't worry.
So Will, you know he's overpowered now. It's going to be a really intense fight.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just going to be Rain runs up, trips him over, grabs a rock, and smashes his head.
No, well, they fight, they do some fisticuffs, and then he knocks Rain down, and then he turns around and is like, I'm the best. And then she kicks him,
And trips him.
and then he's like, ugh.
And he just lays there
And then
while she goes and picks up a rock.
It's not even a big rock.
Well, it's funny because he's just laying there. He's not doing anything.
He's just laying there with this look of like,
He's like, oh crap. Oh God, you got me.
And
Dang
then
it.
She drops it, and it crushes his head. She turns his head into a cake. Fade to black.
What did she say? Like, motherfucker?
Motherfucker. That's it. What a one-liner. And then they're all like walking around the dead bodies. And then again.
And the second in command is just like being like,
oh my God, I forgot.
and like,
They're like looking at him, and he's just like,
no,
I'll be fine.
He's like,
I'm okay.
I'll be fine. I'm okay. I'll be fine. And then he just like,
And they just kind of
he like
closes his eyes, and then
like
that's it.
slowly closes his eyes, and it's just dead.
And then fade to black, and we get shots of like stock footage of fucking artillery going off.
It's like them winning the war, I guess, or something.
And then the next shot is like a truck pulling up to a camp, the camp from the beginning of the movie. And then this guy's like, there's a truck. And he's like, I see that. Open it. And then it opens. And then it's just...
And she says, Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, motherfucker.
And then it freeze frame.
And...
Yeah. That long silence right there, that's because we just fucking lost brain cells watching this
that
movie.
long silence was us when they did that end zinger.
Like,
if you can call it
we've
that.
been slapped in the face a lot at the end of movies, okay?
That was like...
That was worse than I bet you thought it was the butler.
That was actually worse. That was
That
actually
was
worse.
actually worse than I bet you thought it was the butler.
That was worse than that. It was worse than... I swear to God... I just...
I would have preferred like a cliffhanger or something. Anything.
Anticlimax doesn't even begin to describe
I'm
this.
pretty sure I receded into myself.
Yeah. Like, I will never love again
No.
after watching this.
No, I can't. I have seen the
This
atrocities.
is worse. Like, it's worse than fucking Claws. It's
Dude,
worse than...
It's like, okay, so there seems to be a trend with these Uwe Boll films where I don't think they can get worse,
But they do.
but they do. Because, like, I'm always thinking, like, okay, well, okay, we've watched really bad Uwe Boll films. How much worse can they get? And I always regret saying that because, my God, they get fucking worse.
They always do.
They always do. And I, like, it's weird because I'd rather watch the second Bloodrayne.
Here's the thing. I thought the second Bloodrayne was as bad as it can get. Because the second Bloodrayne is a fucking piece of fucking shit.
Yes.
But this is worse.
It is worse.
Somehow.
At least Bloodrayne 2 had action sequences.
Yeah.
It had, like...
As bad as they were.
They're fucking awful, but my God, at least they're there. And
Yeah.
they're longer than fucking 30 seconds at a time.
Like, as bad as they were, they were
And
there. They were there.
And I hate to give them this credit, but my God, Bloodrayne 2 had a way better setup for, like, what was going on.
Yeah.
Because, like, you get the bad guy. It establishes him, and he's a bad dude, which is it's cliche, but at least it's there.
It's something.
And then in this, you just don't get anything. It's just a commandant getting fucking barbecued, and then he, like, just skewered, and then he's a vampire, and that's, like, how he's bad, because he's a vampire.
Because vampire.
And he's a Nazi, you know?
That's
It's like, you had so much potential. Like, you're working with a lot of, like historical stuff here. Like, you could do a lot of stuff. You could play around with some things. But no, it's just fucking milquetoast fucking vampire Nazi movie. And it's just like, he just took the basic concept and was just like, let's make a really boring movie that I can hopefully make some money on. And then if I don't, I can blame my fans.
Whoa, don't worry. That's what he literally ended up doing. I'll just mention this right now. If you go on YouTube and type in Uwe Boll Kickstarter, and because he didn't get the point. He didn't get the point that people didn't fucking like him. Somehow, for a whole career of shit movies, he never realized that no, my dude, it's not us, it's you. Like, you're the problem. And he made a Kickstarter for, I think it was Rampage 4, and of course, no one contributed to it.
Well, he's the only director I know that like got that angry, right? Because like
He got. I mean, here's the thing. He told everyone, including his fans, whoever the fuck that is,
I don't know,
to go fuck themselves.
I don't know who his audience is. I don't know who sits back and is like, oh yeah, the next Uwe Boll film is out. I'm gonna fucking watch that shit. No, I've literally heard no one even knows who he is.
Yeah, like, people are like, oh, I want the next, like, Martin Scorsese movie or something. No, it's, I want the next Uwe Boll movie.
Well, at least you think about bad directors, right? Like, one of the more famous ones, the most famous one, is Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't give a shit that people hated his movie. Like,
no, Tommy Wiseau is fucking delusional.
He is.
But here's the thing. Like, it's two sides of the same coin. Because Tommy Wiseau and Uwe Boll are the same level of delusion.
Yes.
Because they don't seem to get it. Like,
no. Like, Tommy Wiseau thinks he made a good movie.
Yeah, and Uwe Boll thinks really all of these are good movies.
Yes.
But with Tommy Wiseau, it's like, it's like a puppy.
Yeah.
It's like a puppy. Like, he thinks everything's great and everything's awesome. But with Uwe Boll, it's like, oh, you don't like my movie? Fuck you.
Fuck you. You're terrible. You deserve to die if you don't watch my movies.
Like, he's he's called people, like, he's insulted, like, critics who don't like his movies as being, like, pedophiles and, like insane.
What a reaction.
Insane shit. My favorite, though. My absolute favorite fucking thing is when he, like, made, like, some ranty thing. And he was like, I'm not a fucking... Like, I'll use his words. He's like, I'm not a fucking retard like Michael Bay or so-and-so. He name-dropped, like, a bunch of people. And, like, if you look up Michael Bay's statements, it's, like, the funniest thing. Because he's just, like... He started, like, shitting on, like... Because Uwe Boll filmed it in his office. And Michael Bay's, like, shitting on it. He's like, your office with, like, fucking 90s, like, fax machines? Like, I don't even know who the hell you are or why you think you're better than, like, any of these people you named off.
Right.
But the best part is someone edited that video of him shitting on them to Uwe Boll saying, I'm a fucking retard. He's like, I'm a fucking retard and I make the same shitty movie over and over. That's more accurate. And then he had his Kickstarter, which no one donated to. And in that video, he made this hilarious video of just like, okay, guys, the Kickstarter failed. Fuck all you.
Fuck everyone. Fuck you guys.
I'm never making a movie again.
I was going to make a great Rampage movie, and you fucking ruined it. Yeah, that's one way to get to your fans. Just really just blame them.
It's just fucking...
Just tear into them.
Like, dude, no one likes him. No one likes these things. And look... We watched... It's the third movie in this thing. And I'm sorry. This does not... It doesn't cut it.
His level of, like, just not being able to filmmake is showing hardcore right now.
Because here's the thing. Like, at least in those, like, earlier ones, he had money. So, like, yeah, the filmmaking was shit. Everything was shit. But, like, there was stuff. Right? There was stuff.
I don't even know how he has so many movies. I sit and look at his fucking filmography, and I'm just baffled. Like, how does he have so many goddamn movies?
There are great filmmakers who've only made, like one or two movies.
There's, like, great filmmakers that only got one shot, made a movie, it tanked, and, like, everyone loves it. And then that's it. They're done.
But because it didn't make money, they never got a chance. Like,
yeah, they don't get a chance.
Like, the guy who did Shoot 'Em Up, I don't think has made a movie since.
No.
Because no one will fund it. But meanwhile, this fucking moron he made all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, in this year that this came out, he had, like, 3 other fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like...
And I swear to God, there's one that we're not watching called Bloodrayne. He used the same sets. He
used the same actors.
Yes.
And sets from this to make a comedy about a fat woman who apparently causes earthquakes by walking
She also
kills
causes
Nazis.
explosions. I haven't seen it, but apparently she causes earthquakes and explosions.
Early on when we started this, we were like, we're gonna watch all of his movies, and you were like, even Barbarella, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then I remember one day, like midway through our marathon, I was just like thinking of like, okay,
You're like, I can't.
any way possible, let's cut some of these out because I don't want to fucking deal with it. And then we watched a trailer to Barbarella, and I was like, no.
Well, because
we ain't watching it.
It also, thank God, it doesn't align with like what movies we want to do in this
That's the thing,
podcast.
because
it's a comedy.
A bad horror action movie is one thing. A bad comedy,
like,
honey,
comedy's hard to hit right sometimes. So it's
and
like,
if comedy's bad, ugh.
Like, horror is hard to do, but like cheap horror isn't hard to do.
No, you can do it.
And like action, honestly, isn't like super hard. You just have a lot of explosions, and
You
like,
can still do good action on the cheap.
right. We've seen it.
Do you need money to have people fight?
No, but you just have to have people
Competence.
who know. You have to have people who know what they're doing. Good choreography. Good fucking I know.
People know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. It's a shocker. I know, because you wouldn't think that any of that applies to anything Uwe Boll's made.
No,
because
these movies are on another.
Just next time you ever if I don't know why you would, but if you ever load up an Uwe Boll movie, just look at the credits and just realize how many people are ruining their careers by working for this absolute unit.
This fucking unit.
This fucking unused unit.
This fucking Muppet. All right. Well.
But I think we've gone on enough of a rant. Yeah, I think
we're not done with
I could go on.
Because we got more Uwe Boll, so
you know
let's save it.
We're back. We're excited. So, yeah, we'll end it there. But
Sunday.
Yes, we'll be
back.
Yeah,
so we're back to our regular
schedule. And
finally.
So, yeah. So we'll be doing, until we get done with Uwe Boll, we'll be doing more 70s movies, obviously, because we're on 78. Is right.
I'm just waiting until we're done with this so we can go back to our regular fucking.
Just all 70s. No more retrospective.
Just going through the years.
Okay? No more
No. No.
I can't think of another director I hate more than Uwe Boll.
This is personal.
Yes.
We grew up with this.
Well, we're also watching these movies so we don't have to watch them later. So
God, I'm so glad.
Yeah, same. So anyway, thanks for tuning in if you did. Thanks for listening. Thanks for kind of hanging in there if you did through the break. Sorry it took us so long, but a lot of stuff is happening, as everyone probably knows.
As you see,
it's affecting everyone. So we're sorry if it's this message is finding you unwell, but we're glad to be back, and hopefully we can bring you some laughs and some entertainment for a little bit. Kind of make you forget about what's
going on in the world.
2020 is just a fucker of a year, so
yeah, get your mind off things.
Just kind of forget things, and that's kind of what we want to do while recording, and we want you guys to also enjoy our content, and just I don't know, we're just all hanging out. So anyway, for They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex,
and we will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.